Hey guys, just finished The Christmas Carol. Great. Filet, what would you say, Tyler?
I liked it a lot.
That lighting though, quality.
The sound effects are good. It scared me.
On December 15th, 2017, I went to see a play in Niagara-on-the-Lake. The play was A Christmas Carol. This play has been interpreted hundreds of times by many different directors. Overall, I really enjoyed this rendition and can't wait to tell you about this in the review. Let's start our review with costume and set design. The actors wore classic Victorian clothing, perfect for the time period the play is based in. The men wore long coats and top hats. The women wore bonnets and dresses with somewhat puffy bottoms. It should be noted, because of the class of many of these characters, no extravagant Victorian costumes were used. Instead, the attire they wore was more day-to-day. This move was a bit dull, but it was needed for historical accuracy. The set consisted of a wooden background painted in the style of a Victorian Christmas town square. The backdrop also had a series of numbered doors and windows of various sizes. It personally reminded me of an advent calendar. The backdrop was simple and effective, and was used often during the production. For example, when Scrooge is in his office, he hears carolers on the street below him. He then goes behind the stage, uses one of the doors to shout at them from above to go home. Costume and set came together to create the theme of a Victorian Christmas. The costumes are realistic to the time period, and the backdrop was versatile and creative. The actors delivered their lines in a serious manner with comedy thrown in. Their accents and manners of speaking were faithful to how they would have talked in 1940s England. For example, Scrooge's interactions with the ghost of Christmas Present offered an excellent sense of comedy relief. Furthermore, the music was good, with the actors singing a variety of classic Christmas carolers.
The holly and the ivy, when they are both full grown, of all the trees that are in the wood, the holly bears the crown. Oh, the rising of the sun and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry harps, sweet singing in the choir.
The actors even got the audience to sing along, getting different sections to sing different parts of Christmas songs. This is an excellent way to get the audience to interact with the show. Actors and music worked together to create a humorous yet realistic rendition of A Christmas Carol. So, obviously the play was no Broadway musical, so they couldn't afford these big major special effects. Thankfully, however, the director got creative with the special effects they did use. For example, one of the three ghosts that visited Mr. Scrooge was just a giant sheet hung up by cables. Certain parts of the sheet were illuminated to create shadows. Personally, this was my favorite special effect used during the entire production. I found it to be creative, simple, and effective. Other special effects include great lighting cues, and as I mentioned before, excellent music. So, lighting and sound were combined when ghosts were featured on stage. This resulted in certain ghosts feeling more sinister and vengeful than others. This would feature dark lighting and eerie music. However, the ghost of Christmas Present was portrayed in a more human form, with standard lighting and sound. This allowed him to become a more funny character. This is compared to other ghosts that were portrayed as all-powerful spirits. One area I feel the director could have focused on more was the class division in Victorian England. Poorer families would have to work all year to afford Christmas dinner. Many children considered receiving an orange in their stocking as a fantastic gift. Meanwhile, upper-class families could hold lavish holiday parties and have a feast at dinner. One new insight the director showed me was about Scrooge's relationship with his wife that left him earlier. Most renditions of A Christmas Carol I've seen only give fleeting mention to this part about Scrooge's life. Most choose to focus on Scrooge's childhood in an orphanage. This is why Scrooge became so angry, bitter, and obsessed with money in his later life. He believed it to be his only true and constant love. But the best insight into Scrooge's past was the relationship between his late sister and his current nephew. His sister had died during childbirth, which was quite common during the time period. As a result, he blamed his nephew for her death. This put a strain on their relationship, and resulted in Scrooge being hostile to his nephew, his only surviving family. The director and actors did a great job in showing us how Scrooge's past experiences shaped his current behavior. The directors truly used all the tools available at their disposal. This created an amazing final performance. I hope to see another play on the beautiful Niagara-on-the-Lake next year. Thank you.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look at the 5 and 10. It's glistening once again with candy canes and silver lanes that glow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Toys in every store, but the prettiest sight to see is the holly that will be on your own front door.